So is it visible? Online guys, is it visible? Voice is audible? Whether it is audible or not, at least tell me, then only I will record. Fine, I will assume it's audible and also visible. Fine. Okay, so this particular data tab, okay. So data tab is mainly connected, or it is only used for your connections, data connections, okay. So whenever you have any kind of data in Excel, so you can bring data from other sources, from other files, and then you can do a little bit of transformation. Transformation in the sense you can modify your data, or you can add any kind of new columns. You can do data changes, you can do cleaning of your data. All these operations you can do under this tab. Okay. Then after that you have little bit other options also, how to convert any kind of text data to your columns data and all. Okay. So we'll see one by one. Then here you have data. Okay. So for example, okay, it is the data. So let's say we are at empty seed. Okay. So we don't have any kind of data available. So under your data tab, you have one particular option called get data. Okay. So get data, this is one feature which will allow you to get data from other files or sources. Okay. So this is the feature also in Power BI. So whenever you will be working on Power BI, let's say, so there also you have this option called get data. Okay. So here you can get data from various of the different sections also. So same feature they have included in Excel right now. Okay. So under this get data, if you click, there are different sections. Okay. So from different sections you can get data. So you can get data from a database. You can get data from different files, let's say text file, CSV files, or Excel files, or JSON files, XML files, different file structures. So that's a from file. So you have different files from where you can get data. You have database from different databases, Oracle, SQL, MySQL, IBM DB2, all these different types of databases are there. So from there also you can get data. Then you have Power Platform. Again, Power Platform is connected for your Power BI. So whenever you have data in Power BI environment as a data set, there you can get data from Power BI. Okay, online services, again, online services means like your SharePoint list if you have data. So this is the different types of online list you have. Salesforce also, this is kind of again online APIs. Okay. Other sources, again, from table range, like table range in the sense, from in this Excel file, from table or range, you can get data. Then Hadoop, okay, this is like your big data, one component Hadoop. From there, OLEDB, ODBC, all these different kinds of other things also you have data. Okay. So basically this get data will get data from other environment, or you can say other data source. Okay. So here other things are like everything is like purely technical, and also it is connected to other environments. So if you have knowledge on other environment, then only you can work. So I will show you from file system, okay, how to get data. From database, one particular database, how you will get data. Then Azure, once you know Azure thing, then only you can able to know. Because right now it is of no use. Power Platform also same. If you know Power BI, then only it comes. Okay. Other online services, other sources, these are again kind of little bit advanced one. So you should right now you can exclude, okay, not needed. But if you will work for any kind of other SharePoint list, you will work, or Hadoop you will work, then you can easily get it. Okay. So let's go and do some kind of activity from file or database. Okay. So first thing is, let's say file I will choose. Under this file, you have different files, text, CSV, Excel, all these things. Let's say I want to get data from Excel, another one Excel. So I will click on Excel workbook. Then it will ask me where you have that particular Excel file. Let's say I will browse. Okay, I will get somewhere like, okay, what data? There's a bike data I have. So I will import this. Okay. So this is simple operation of importing data. Okay. So I'll get data. So once you get this particular file you will choose, it will ask you this particular pop-up will come or this particular window will come. In this window you can see you have chosen this particular Excel file. Then here you have what? Only this particular sheet. So you have multiple sheets, so multiple sheets will be coming. So you can choose multiple things, you can load directly. Only you have to enable what? Select multiple items. You have to just enable that. Then in that case, this checkbox will come. So multiple sheet you can go and select like this and you will load everything. So at a time you can load multiple sheet and also you can load one sheet at a time also. Okay, whichever is required. So I will disable this. So I will select this learning sample. Then one view of your data, what contents in that particular sheet will be coming. So you can also view this. Okay. After that you have two options. Load, transform data. So load means directly whatever data you have seen here, it will be loaded into your Excel file. Okay. Then you have transform. So we'll go one by one. So let's say go for load. I'll simply click on load. So now what will happen here? Your data will be loaded. Now you can see it is getting data now. Okay. So this is your data. So now you got data from different file. Okay. So this is like simply you are getting data. But let's say I will go for transform data. Let's see what are the options available there. So from file Excel workbook, I will choose which one. Bike details, no? Bike data, import. Then you will select this, then transform data. So once you click transform data, another one window will come which is called Power Query window. Okay, so you can see here Power Query window editor. Okay, so this Power Query editor, what it does, it is actually used for your transformation or ETL operation. Okay, so ETL means extract, transform, then load. So here basically what we are doing, we are extracting data from a file. Then here we'll go and do some kind of transformation. Then we'll load this transform data into our Excel sheet. That's it. So Power Query Editor is nothing but it's actually a feature in Excel, and also this is also present in Power BI. Okay, it is also present in Power BI. What it does some kind of ETL operation. Okay, so Power Query Editor, this is very powerful. There are so many operations you can do. Okay. So first thing, you have like open this transform data. So now this will open. So here you have different tabs again. Okay, home, transform, add column, view. There are different tabs. So home, what happens here? You have predefined like simple some kind of things are there. Again, we are not going to cover everything here. Why? Because there are different things like merge queries, append queries. These are again related to your SQL and Power BI features. So if you will discuss also, you won't get it now. So whatever is required for Excel, we'll discuss. Okay. So here you can see under home, there are first one close and load means simply whatever transformation you have done, it will just save and close. Simple option, save and close, whatever changes. Refresh review means if let's say your data has been changed outside, but it is not reflecting here, then you can go and what? You can click on refresh. So this data will be refreshed. Okay. Then properties, it will show you like, okay, what is your data set? This is the name actually, data set name. Like whatever you have imported, you can give a name to your data set. There is two terms. Okay, so first of all, you need to know the difference between two terms. Okay, one is called data source. Another one is called data set. Two terms will be there. Okay, so what is the difference between these two? Source means from where you will get data. Simple. Okay, where you will get data. Simple. The place, or you can say what is the place where you will get data. Data set means it's about your data, what exactly data you will get. Okay. So data source means, let's say for example, I will say, where are you from? Bangalore. So Bangalore will be your source. But what exactly you are getting, or where exactly you are like having any kind of other, like let's say sales or product or whatever, that particular data is your data set. So here in this particular example, if you see whatever data you are seeing, this is your what? Data set. But data source is what? That Excel file. So the path of the Excel file, the Excel file name. So that connection is your data source. Okay. So you have to be careful whenever someone tells you data source, that means the connections, or you can say the path where you are getting the file or data. Okay. And what exactly data you will see, that is your data set. That's it. So here in this example, you can see training sample. So training sample is your data set. But if you will go into this training sample, you will see, okay, from where you got this data, from download folder, this is the particular folder and this is the file name. That is your data source. Okay. So here, properties means you will give your name to data set, then some kind of description if you want. Then there is something called fast data load. Okay. So if you will enable this, what will happen? Your data will be loaded faster. Okay, but there is a hidden thing which is used. Again, we are not aware of that. What is that? If you will enable this fast data load, that means whatever data is there, you are trusting all the data. So what happens generally, whenever you will load data, the data will be fetched. Then this particular software will check, okay, all the data is correct or not, data type is correct or not. This checks will be there. Okay, so obviously this checks will take time, little bit of time, right? But if you'll go for fast load, then what will happen? You don't check all this data type checks, all this, nothing. Later it will check. Okay, so this is like instantly load. So obviously it will take less time. Okay, so which you won't be knowing also inside. Okay, that is the thing. So properties is just for giving name, description, then this one, nothing else. Then you have advanced editor. Advanced editor will give you details regarding your data source. Okay, so here what happens, here you will be having data sets. So whichever data set you will click and you will go to advanced editor, you will get all the details regarding what? That particular data set. So this is your data source information. And whatever language here it is written, this is called M language. Okay, which is also used in Power BI. So whenever you will use Power Query editor, the language which is used, that is called M language. Okay. These things are they have developed by using what? Power BI feature only, nothing else. So Power Query editor. The language is used M language. Okay. So here, what exactly you won't be going to write all these things again, because you are not going to be a Power BI person. So you are not going to write all these things, but you need to decode this, because if you cannot decode, then maybe you won't get the data source information also. So what exactly it is written here? If you see source, source means where you are getting the data. What is the source? Excel.workbook. That means your source is Excel. You have to just decode. Then here file contents. This is what? Your path of Excel file. So you can see path along with whatever Excel file you have loaded. Done. Then after that, which particular sheet? Let's say this is the Excel file. But in Excel file there will be multiple sheets. Which sheet you are using? This is the sheet name. Okay. So like that you need to decode. That's it. Okay. So from here in advanced editor, you will get what? Data source details. Okay. So once you get this data source details, so you can know easily, okay, from where you are getting the data. That's it. Okay. So advanced editor will help you on that. Okay. Then here you have something called manage. Under manage, delete duplicate reference. Okay. Delete means simply it will delete the data set. Duplicate means it will create another one copy of this data set. Let's say you want to create another one table, or this data set you want to create duplicate. So it will duplicate. That's it. Okay. A reference means what exactly? It will create another one copy of that, and also those two will be related. But in duplicate, it won't be related. But in reference, it will be related. Okay. So these are the things. So I will delete it. I don't want. So it's now deleted. Fine. After that, here you have choose columns. Choose columns means what? There are two options again. Choose columns, go to column. Okay. So let's say you will go choose on columns. So here what happens? Generally, let's say I will go for this. Now what happened? Whatever column you have choose, it will only appear. Other columns will be hidden. That's it. So choose columns will give you flexibility of only having those required columns. Other columns will be hidden, not deleted. Remember that. It's not deleted, it's hidden. Okay. Because I will show you how it will be deleted also. So here then you have go to column. Go to column means what exactly? Go to column. That means if let's say you have plenty of data, so much of data. So obviously, like how you will go to this data? So you will be scrolling. Okay. So you will be scrolling. Someone is dead. How many users we have? We have 73. Use proper name. That is the thing. Guest user has to say yes. Use proper name, or else this guest user, all these different names. If you will try, then only it will give you issues. So Suam, you have joined, I guess. Okay. Anyway, let him join. Fine. So here, go to columns means what exactly? Whenever you have lot of columns, so it is very difficult to track where that column is. So you can click on that. Let's say you want to go to sales data. So click on this. Okay. So now that column will be what selected. So it is just for navigation, nothing else. Okay. Then you have remove columns. So now remove columns. Okay. So this is the thing. So this is like permanently removing your columns from this data set. But that choose column, it will just hide your columns. Okay. That is the difference. So here remove columns, remove other columns, two options. That means what? Remove columns means whatever is selected, that will remove. Remove other columns means whatever is selected, except that everything else will be removed. That's it. Okay, nothing else.
After removing columns, all the columns are we couldn't find it.
What? Sorry, I did not get you. Let me choose all the columns. Okay, now let's say, okay, all these columns are there. Now what I will do, let's say I will go to this particular region. Okay, then I will say remove columns. Okay, so what exactly you want to do?
If I choose only choose columns, then we can find out every hidden columns. And again, we choose remove columns, we didn't find
it will be deleted. So, okay, so I will tell you.
We can find
So there is two concepts. One is hidden, one is deleted. Hidden means it will occupy space, but it will be hidden. So you can reuse that. In removed column, so it is removed. So you cannot again get it back. You cannot get it back, but you don't consume space also. So space will be little. So that is the difference, nothing else. But here in this particular Power Query editor, you have again option. So whether it is removed or like it is hidden also, you can also take back. I will tell you that. So here there are steps. So you can undo also. Okay. So no issues on that. But concept is there. Hidden means it will be occupying space, but it will be not visible. Removed means it will not occupy space. It is like removed from your data set. That's it. Okay. So here you have remove columns. So whatever column you will be selecting, it will just remove that. But remove other columns means only except this, everything else will be removed. Okay. So let's say I will remove this column. So now this region will be removed. Now see, region is removed. Okay. So let's say you have done some of the steps which is wrong, but or else you can just want to undo. So here you can see there is a something called applied steps. That means you are doing all these steps one by one. First one is source. Source means you are getting data from where. Second is navigation. That means you are navigating from that Excel file to what? This is the sheet. Then you are promoting headers. Headers means all the headers. Whatever header you have, you are getting. Then next type, change type. Change type means you are changing the data type of region of text, country text, all this data type. Then remove other columns. So you have removed other columns. These are the columns which is removed. Then you are removing columns. Which column? Region column. So these are the steps. You can easily also get it. No, okay, these are the things I have done. Okay. If you do not want any step, click on this cross you have, so it will be undo, done. Okay, so these are the things. Then keep rows. Again, keep rows will, what it will do, it will keep your rows. So keep top rows, keep bottom rows, keep range of rows, all these things are there. Keep duplicates. So let's say you have duplicate rows, so you want to keep them, so you can keep them. Let's say there are certain errors also in rows, you can also keep them error rows. So these are the options you have. So if you click on top rows, it will ask you how many rows you want. Let's say I want 20 rows. So I will click on 20. So now you will be having what? Only top 20 rows. Okay. So these are the options you have, keep rows. So you can like from top or bottom or a range, like from 1 to 100 or 10 to 100. So you can give that range also like that. Then remove rows. Again, same thing. You can remove top rows, bottom rows, range of rows, any error, blank rows if you have, or if you have any duplicates, you can remove that also. Okay. So these are the options you have for removing. Okay. Fine. Then you have sorting. So which column you want to sort? Let's say I want to go for country and I want to sort as A to Z, ascending order. So now it will be sorted into in that order. So you can go and sort also. Then there is a very powerful thing which is called split column. So split column in the sense what? It will split your column into multiple columns. So how it will split? It will split on different basis. First one you have delimiter. Delimiter in the sense which one will be repeated. Okay, so is there any, like if your data, every data will follow a particular pattern, then you can say that is delimiter. Okay, but by number of characters, let's say you want to divide your column into number of characters. Let's say, okay, you have this, let's say for example, you have Aadhaar number. So you want to divide your Aadhaar number into three parts, 4 digit, 4 digit, 4 digit. Because you know all the 4 digits represent something else. Your locality, your country, your area. So in that case, what you will go? You will go by number of characters. You will give 4. So after each 4 characters, it will be divided. So 3 columns you will get out of 1 column. Okay. Then you have by positions. So you don't know the data, but you know the position. From 1 to 5, I need to divide. Okay. Then in that case, you can go for position. Then you have lowercase to uppercase to lowercase. Okay, digit to non-digit, like your PAN number. You want to divide your PAN number into digit 1 section, non-digit 1 section. You can go for this, digit to non-digit. Again, from non-digit to digit. Why these two options? Because whichever will come first. Okay, if digit will come first, then you can go for this one. If non-digit is coming first, you can go for this one. These are the options. So here in this example, let's say I will tell you, I want to divide this particular category. Let's say, okay, I want to divide what? This particular category. On what basis? Or else, let's say you will be having one customer name. Let's say this one. You have customer name. I want to get first name, last name, middle name. Let's say. How you will get it? How you will get it? Okay. How you will get it? Customer names are
In
here.
delimiter, we can give space, no, sir, for
Yes.
getting this.
Yes. So here customer names, you don't have fixed characters. So it will vary as per name. So the length of characters also not there. Then you can just go to split column and check. By delimiter I can use. So there is, you can see each name, first name or last name, you have what? A space. in between. So you can go for delimiter. So delimiter will be your space. So whenever space will come, it will divide your data. That's it. Okay. Then number of characters. You cannot go for number of characters because you never know how many, like whatever customer you have, names won't be different, like similar. So it is different. You can go for that. Position also. You cannot also give position because names can expand or shrink as per your customer. Lower caste of phrases, I cannot go. So all these things I cannot go. So which one it will apply? By delimiter. So once you click on delimiter, it will ask, hey, which particular delimiter you want to use. So automatically by its intelligence, it will select. But if it is not there also, you can click on that, you can select whatever. If it is not there, let's say colon, comma, equal sign, semicolon, space, tab, all these things are there. But let's say they have used what? Something like zero, let's say they have used. So you can use go for custom. Then you can give whatever actually that delimiter is. Okay. So in that case, you can give. So here in our case, it is what? Space. I will select space. Then split add. Why you want to split? Each occurrence of the delimiter. That means whenever your space will come, it will divide. But let's say you will go for leftmost delimiter. That means only whenever your left hand side one delimiter will come, it will only divide. So it is like dividing into only two columns. Here rightmost. So from right side it will search. Whenever space will come, it will divide left side all data, right side one data. But each occurrence means how many times space will come, it will divide those many columns. Okay. So let's say I will go for what? Each occurrence, because obviously we have middle name also. So I can go for this left or right. Right? So this one. Then code character. Code character means what exactly? Let's say in your whatever data you are going to split, there you have some different characters like double quotes, single quotes. You want to ignore that. So you can give that particular thing here. Okay. So we don't have anything, so we can ignore. Okay. So now you can see this customer will be divided into what? Customer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how many spaces you have into that? So maybe one customer will be having multiple names, like multiple space, 3 or 4. So that's why customer 1, 2, 3, 4. So many names are there. Okay. So you can go for that. Or else if you will go for left hand side only, so I will close this. I'll select this. I'll say split column, delimiter, space, only leftmost. So now you will see the customer is divided into only two parts. It will start searching from the left hand side. Whenever space will come, it will divide into two parts. That's it. Okay. So that is your split column. And this is very much required. This is very powerful. Okay. Because you will be getting data like, let's say, product. So product will be like 001 hyphen TV, 002 hyphen radio. So in that case, you want what? You want to divide this data into two columns. One will be your product ID, one will be product name. So you have to use this. Okay, so this is very powerful. Okay. Then group by is nothing but it will just group by as per your whatever columns. Then you have to create some kind of aggregation. Okay. So if you want, let's say I will just click on this. Fine. So let's say I will go business segment. I will say okay, group by business segment. And what is the new column? Let's say I will say sum of or total unit or total sales something. Okay. What you want to do? I want to do summation. What is the column you want to do summation? Let's say unit price. Now what will happen? Now your whole table is what? Aggregated based on your whatever group by column. Okay, so this is your group by. Group by means doing some kind of aggregation. So you have whole data. Now you are saying, okay, do one thing. I want to get total of sales based on what? Group by business segment. So obviously, group by business segment, this is the sale. Other data will be lost because you are going to create aggregation. Okay, so whenever you will go for this group by, remember that whatever operation you are doing here, it will delete all the data because you are going to group by. So other things will be removed. Okay, so if you want to use the other details again, you cannot get it right. So better what you can do, don't do group by here, you can do it in DAX. Okay, in Power BI you have DAX language, so there you can do it. Or else create another one copy like this. Here this is the aggregation table, this is your whole table. In that way you can also achieve. Okay, so this is your group by. Then here you have data type. So whichever data type you want, let's say you will go here, you will choose whatever column. Let's say this one, list price. Okay, so you can go here, you will say, now I will turn this into whole number. So you can go for that. So these are the data types you have. So whichever column you will choose, and you can choose whatever data type. Okay. After that, use first row as header. So whenever you will load your data, sometimes what happens, your data will be there from the first row itself. There won't be any kind of header. So in that case, what will happen here, you can see, use first row as header, use headers as first row. That means whenever you have no headers, only data from first row, you can go use headers as first row. So your data will be shifted to first row. Then all the header name you have to give from your side. Okay. If you have like use first row as header, that means let's say your data starts from third row. There is header at second row. It can also happen. So in that case, if you load, your all the columns will be column 1, column 2 like that. Here at the first row, you will be having column header. So in that case, you can use first row as headers. Okay. So you can utilize that particular thing. Replace value simply like it is like control H. Whatever value you want to replace, you can select whatever column. Let's say in example, I will go for this color. Okay. So I will go replace value. Which value I need to replace? Null values to something like no color. Okay. So now what will happen? All the nulls are converted into no color. It is like just replacing values, nothing else. Okay. Merge append, forget. This is again advanced. Manage parameters, again no need. Data source settings, it will give you, okay, this is the data source. So you can go and change your data source. You can edit the permission. You can do that. So this is like managing your data source. Okay. Then new source, recent source. New source means again you can get data. Recent source, whatever you have used recently. Then enter data, it is like hard code values. That means if you click on enter data, another one table will come, this one. So you will create, let's say I want to create a gender table. So I will give gender. I will say this is male. So I will click here, I will say female. Okay, so I will say here gender ID, gender ID. So male is, let's say 1, female is, let's say 2. So I will give this table name as dimension gender. Okay. Okay. So now that table will be created. So this is like a table which is created by you on the fly. Okay. So now dim gender is created. Okay. So this is your enter data. Okay. Clear or any doubt? Okay. Online folks, anything? Okay, so next one is transform. Transform means here actually you will do little bit of transformation of your data. So right now whatever you have done, this is kind of little bit transformation also, data type changes also, all these things. So here transformation means again group by same thing. Again use first row as header, whatever option you have chosen. Then you have transpose here. Okay, transpose means what? Converting rows into columns, columns into rows. So you will click on this transpose. Now you will see this is transposed. Okay, so male, female, it was like this. Now it is transposed into like this. Okay, so these are the things you can do also. Okay, transpose, then reverse rows. Okay, so if you click on this, now whatever rows you have, it will just alter that rows. Okay, reversed. Count rows, it will give you count of rows, how many count you have. Okay, so again it is of no use. Okay, count rows. Okay, then data type change, again you can go and choose whatever data type you want here. So here actually so many options are again repeated every section. Replace values, you have so many things. Rename, if you want to rename anything, okay, you can go and rename. Okay, or else you can go here, let's say you want to rename this particular, you can double click. Okay, you can also rename. Okay, so these are the things. Then pivoting, if you want to do pivoting. Pivoting means, you know the concept of pivoting? No? Okay. Okay. So pivoting means what exactly? Let me tell you. Let's say for example, this is your data, whole data. Okay. I will just for your simplicity, I'll go and only choose few columns. Region, country, unit price, list prices. Okay, so this is the thing. Let's say. Okay, 1 minute. Let me do in other way. Choose columns. I'll choose 1, 2, region, country. Anything else is list price. Let's say country, category also I will choose. Fine. So now let's say this is the data you have. So I will select on this and I will go for pivoting. Values columns, let's say this one, list price. Okay, so now what happens here? So you have country, okay. So country wise you have data, then here category, other things like, okay, 1 minute. Country category, huh? So country is there. So region wise, country wise, you have data here. Okay. So I will just remove other columns. So actually, it is of no use. What exactly I can do is, sorry, based on which value I will pivot. I will get it. You have not done any pivoting before. I am also surprised. Okay, let's say. So let's say this is your region data, whatever you have. Then I will go for pivoting. Pivot column. Okay, fine. So now what happens? Your column was like country wise you have cells before. So if you will come here, what happens here? Region wise you have cells, list wise. Okay. Pivoting means what? Actually it will just shift like rows into, again, not rows into columns. It is like values, whatever values you have here, it will be treated as columns. And this particular value will be split into that. So let's say for example there is specific reason, you have so many, these are the values. So now if it will remove, like it will move, now you can see specific total value is there. North America total value. So now your rows are converted into what? Column headers. Okay, and other values will be what? It will be splitted or it will be aggregated for that particular label. Okay, so in that way you can achieve. So pivoting is this one. So if you want to unpivot, this is the reverse one. Okay, now it will unpivot. Okay, so pivoting, unpivoting, it is required. Which column I have used? Very good. So now it will unpivot into attribute value. So you have to give what is the name for this and what is the value. Okay. So pivoting, unpivoting generally will do for aggregation or distribution of your value across different values. Okay, that is the thing. Okay. Then you have here move. So if you want to move any column left, right, beginning, end, whatever, you can do that. Okay. Split column again you have. Okay. Then you have format. So if you want to convert any lowercase, uppercase, trim, clean, add prefix, suffix, capitalize each word, you can do all these operations. Okay. Then you have here some kind of other mathematical operations, summation, maximum, minimum, all this. Then add, subtract, multiply, all these things. Okay. Then scientific calculation also, square roots, cube, all these things. Okay. Then rounding. So if you want to rounding up, that means one step up. So whatever value, let's say here you have 82.82. So you want to rounding to 1 place up. So it will be converted into only after one decimal point. Okay, or else it is rounded up to whole number. So these are the things you have. Okay, so information whether it is even odd or not. So all these things you can achieve, and then time and all you can ignore as of now. So this is just for like whenever you have date or time, you can extract any date, time as per that. Okay. Then you have add column. So add column is nothing but it will give you flexibility to add column. Okay, calculated. This is like calculated column. So I will remove all this. Remove, fine. So now let's say this is the data. Okay, you want to add another one column. What is that column? So let's say, for example, I will say, okay. So I will add another one column which will do some kind of calculations, maybe based on some certain conditions. Okay, all this. So here under add columns, you have columns from examples. So here this is like from all columns. Okay, so let's say. So these are the columns. So from all columns, you will want to add any kind of column, whatever you want. So you can choose that and you can add. So anyway, this is of no use. Okay, columns from examples, because whenever you are going to add any column, you should have a particular, you can say what, calculation or any kind of logic. So you cannot create any columns from examples like simply copy. So if you want that, you simply click and you can copy that. Okay, you can do that. So what we'll do, we'll go for creation of column. So here, for second option, you have custom column. Okay, custom column means what? It will do some kind of calculated columns. So let's say I want to do what? Total sale. What I need to do? I will go for unit price into, I will say, order quantity. Okay, I will hit OK. So now another one column will be created with whatever calculation you have done. That is your custom column, calculated column. Then invoke custom function. Again, it is just like creating different functions. Like you will give one name here, then after that functional query. So you have to write sales. Okay. Custom dependent file price. So there is no functional query written. Okay. It is just like, I think, little bit. Invoke a custom function defined in this file for each row. Okay. So you have to create a function actually. So maybe I am not sure. Okay. So this option I am not also exactly sure. Maybe you need to write a function in your Excel file and then you need to call that function here. Maybe. Okay. But anyway, again, whatever function you will write. So you, let's say you are writing one function of summation of whatever operation. That all the operation you can do it here also. Okay. So no need of calculate like calling any function. Okay. So this one also you can ignore. So you can focus on only one thing, calculated column, that is custom column. Conditional column also required, that is based on condition. So you will create one column based on condition. So let's say you want to create something like what exactly? Let's say color. I will say color flag. Color flag. So if your column name color, what is the operator equals to? If the value is no color, then your output will be 0. Then you can add multiple conditions also one by one, else if like that. So again, let's say I will go for color. Again, here also color is equals to what? Blue. So then your index is 1. If it is black, your index is 2. Rest all I will give index as, let's say, 10. Okay. So this is what? This, you are creating one column based on certain conditions. Okay. So you can go for that. Okay. So now you can see another one column will be created with flags. Okay. So this is your conditional column. Then next one will be your index column. So basically 3 columns you will be creating: calculated column, which is based on calculation; conditional column, which is based on condition; then you have index column. Index column means what? It is just like your index numbers. So let's say you have data, but you do not have a particular column which will define each record or each row uniquely. So just like your employee ID. Okay. So whenever you will create any kind of nodes or any kind of data, you need a unique identifier like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. So here index column will do that. So you can start from 0, you can start from 1, or you can go for custom like whatever number you want. If I'll go for 0, then it will, you can see one column will be created like 1. Okay, I have created 1, I guess. Let's say you will go for from 0. So now one column will be created which is start from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So it is like index values. Okay. So if you will go for 1, it will start from 1. But if you will go for custom, you can define your own number. So I will give, let's say, starting from 100. I want to start from 100. What is the increment? Let's say 20. So 100, 120, like that, all the numbers will be created. So why this is required? This index column is required whenever your data do not have any kind of unique identifier. Okay, in that case you can go for that. Then duplicate column, whichever column you want to duplicate, you can create another one duplicate copy of that column. Okay. Format again, lowercase, uppercase, huh?
Create a column can't be added in between the other two.
Between again.
When we create, usually create in the
What is this? You can move, no? So wherever your column is in between or starting or ending, there is no issues because you will be using the column. It is not like no client will ask you, hey, I want this column as second position. That is the case, just move it. Drag and move it. So it is not like anything won't be created at the middle. It will be created at the last. But if you want, you can just hold it, you can move. Wherever you want, you can place it. Okay. Then format again same, capital, keyword, trim, clean, all these things. Okay. Then again same mathematical, rounding, all these operations. Okay. These are again repeated. Then view is nothing but just viewing your data quality. Okay. So there is something called column profile, which is required sometimes just to check your data. Okay, so it's like, okay, how many columns you have, what is the value, what is the distinct values, unique values, is there any duplicate, is there any empty, all these things. So this particular behavior, then you have here column quality. That will also tell, you can see here valid 100%, error nothing, there is no error in calculation. Empty, there is no empty. So what exactly it will do? It will actually give you kind of your quality check. Quality check means how good your data is. So if let's say, for example, you are inputting data from a particular source and you are getting data where is like empty is like 98%, 96%. That means you have whatever data you have inputted, there is something wrong. Because you know every time I have this data, it will be maximum time all the data should be there. But how come it is 98%? So in that case, this will be required. Okay, so these particular things will be required for your column check, column distribution. So how your values are distributed. Okay, it will check all these things. Again, go to column. All these things are there. Advanced editor, again, it will give you that same thing. What are the things you have done and what is the source data source location. Query dependency, it is again, it will give you, okay, how many data set you have, what is the relation between that. Okay, so again in Excel we are not going to do multiple relation because it won't handle much more data, so you can ignore creating any relationship in Excel. Okay, so these are the options you have in Power Query Editor. So that's why Power Query Editor is called as ETL tool. Okay, once you are done, simply close and load. That means save and close kind of thing. So now whatever operation you have done, it will be saved and it will be loaded into what? Excel file. Now you can see all the transformation is done. Now it will load data. So now how many data you have loaded? 3 tables, I guess. One is gender, then another one, this one, then maybe what else? This one also. 3 data set is being loaded. Okay. So that is regarding your get data. Let's say I want to get data from a database. How I will get it? So I will click on get data from database. Let's say I will go for SQL Server database. Okay. So here database connection. What exactly you need for database connection? Obviously you need a what? Server details. So let me open any. I'll open this SQL server. So any kind of database you load, you need that database details or connection string. So that connection string means what? Database server, database username, password. That's it. Okay. So you need those details. If you do not have those details, then you cannot connect. So let's say here I am connecting. What is the server name? This is the server name. So I will copy this server name. Then I will go to here. I will give server name as this much. Then you have database name, which is optional. So you can give or else you can ignore. So I will hit OK. So now if there is some username password, so right now you can see here, it is Windows authentication. So it won't ask. But if it will go for SQL Server authentication, so whatever username password you will give, you have to give here also while connecting, or else it won't connect. Okay. So after that, once you connect to your database server, all the databases under that server will be listed. So whichever you want, you can click on that. Let's say I will go for my tutorial. I will click on this. Under this particular database, how many tables I have? I can. So there is no table. How come? Okay, let's say for example, this is the database I have selected. These are the tables I have. So whichever table you want, you can just click on that. Okay, this is empty table. This is also empty. Very good. Okay, let's say this is the table. I want to load. Again, two options. Directly you can load. You can go to transform your data, then load it. Whatever option you want. So I will load it. So now your data will be loaded from what? Database. So these are the operations you will be doing. Okay, data from database, data from files. Other things, once you will be expert in that particular thing like Azure, Power BI platforms, all these things, then only you will get it. Okay, so get data will get you data from other sources. Same like whatever options you have here, same options they have given here also. Again, text CSV from any text file. If you want to data, you can click on this. Then you will see, okay, what is the text file I have? Let's say I will having some kind of text files. What is the text file I have? Keynotes again, it won't come. So you can go for all files. Okay, any text files, whatever text files, let's say you will create one text file. Okay, you can choose that text file. Again, it will load data in there this way. Okay, then you can go for a web. Web means online. That Google Cloud, what you say, Google Sheet, SharePoint list, all these things. Again, table range from any Excel table range. Picture, from picture also you will get data. How? How you will get data from picture? Because nowadays you know whatever picture you have, sometimes like let's say you have a Adobe file, like data is in table format. So you are clicking a picture, you are getting data in your phone. So like that. So you can also get data from picture. But that picture, whatever you will be, anyway, every picture won't give you data. Remember that. Only the few pictures which are actually enabled for having those particular pixel, it will give you data. Okay, so in that case, if you want to get data from picture, you can click on this picture. Then recent sources, whatever sources you have used recently. So we have used database, Excel file, all these like these are the text files you can use. Okay, all this you can use. Existing connection, so it will give you what are the connections you have already existed in this particular file now. So we have connected to query course, which is database connection. Dim gender we have created here. Training sample 1 or 2, this is like Excel file we have connected. So all the connections it will give you here. Okay, so you can check, okay, in this Excel file, actually there are this many connections. Okay, so you can get that. Refresh all, nothing, it will refresh all the data, whatever data you have. So if any data changes behind, so you can click on this refresh, all the data will be refreshed. So you will get current data, that's it. Okay. Then you have queries connection again same thing. It will give you all the details like how many data set you have, how many connections you have. That's it, nothing else. Okay, properties regarding your this particular data, like how many you have included, what is the connection, all this. Then data types you have, this data type you can ignore because this is for currency, stocks, all this. Again, it is kind of little bit, you can say it will create confusion and also some kind of calculation or error also will come. So better you go for this home tab, whatever data type you have here, you can choose. So if you want, let's say currency, here you have currency, here you have like integer, whole number, all this. So you can choose here. Don't choose anything from here, or else it will again create some kind of issues. Okay, so ignore that. Nothing. Then sorting you can do. So whatever data you have, you can go and sort. You can filter. All these things again same thing, nothing else. Sorting, filtering, same. Then another one different thing which is there, data tools. Okay, this is important. Okay, let me go to this sheet data. Okay, so here this there is something called text to columns. Okay, what exactly you mean by that? So let me give you one glimpse of that. Let's say maybe I will have that particular file. Let's say this is the data. Okay, so what exactly you have here? Let's say I will copy this data, paste as So now, what exactly you have here? So you have data. Okay. So here if you see, your data is what? It is only coming in one column. Okay. So here if you click, you will have ID slash name slash salary address like that. Here some data slash this one. So your data is present, but it is treated as what? Whole data or whole row data is treated as one particular text. And here, how you will segregate this data? So you can see there is a unique combination. So there is actually two vertical bars which is separating your data, like ID, two vertical bar, name, then bar, salary, like that. So again, here all the IDs are there, bar, then names, then again bar, then salary, bar, your address. So if I will give this particular thing as delimiter, then I can get my data. Correct? So how you will get that? So this particular option will help you. So text to columns means it will convert your text data into columns. So here if you see, your whole data is present as what? As a text in one column as a text. Okay. So how we will do that? We will select this, we will go into text to columns. Then here it will ask you two options. One is delimited, one is fixed width. Okay. So we'll go for which option will go? Here actually delimiter. Okay, I will choose delimiter. Next, what is the delimiter? Tab is not the delimiter, so I will deselect. What is the delimiter?
Address we want to give, sir, to pipeline.
Yes. So two pipelines you can give here. So actually two pipelines you don't have to give, only one pipeline you can give. And here you have one option. Treat consecutive delimiters as one. Okay. So let's say here you have only one pipeline. So you can only give one pipeline, that is enough. But as we have two pipelines here, so you can go for treat consecutive delimiters as one. So what will happen? Two pipelines will be treated as one only. So I will select this. Now you can see your data preview. ID one column, name one column, salary one column, address one column. Everything is fine. So in that way you can go next. Finish. Now you can see your whole text is converted into what? Different columns, and also now your data is proper. All these are ID, these are the names, these are the salary, these are the address. Okay. So whenever you have data like text in one particular column, you can convert that text into whatever data you want. Okay. But you have two options. One is delimiter, one is fixed width. Okay. So fixed width, how it will be? I will show you that also. So let's say for example, let's say I will say ID, name, salary, then address. So in between that, I'll give fine. Let's see. So here ID will be, let's say 12. Name I will give Rakesh. Okay, salary will be, let's say this one. But here fixed width means what? You should follow whatever width of that data properly for everything, or else it will again go. So here you can say ID, then after that name. So ID 2. So you should give only two IDs. Okay, so whatever data you have, you should follow in that way. Okay, you cannot choose from your own. So here salary is 2000. So here 2, 4, 6. Again space is there. So I will remove the space. Okay, 6. So now 2000. So it will come 2000, two spaces. Okay. So then after that, I will give address. Address will be, let's say, Karnataka, like that. Then again here I will give 21. Then I will write, let's say Rahul. So Rahul is 5 word, but our name is what? 6 space. So you should give 1 space, or else again data here and there will be there. So let's say 12, 3, fine. Then I will give TN, like that. So I will go here and I will say text to columns. So here delimiter, there is no delimiter, because if you give space, then only one space is there. But you cannot go for delimiter. Then fixed width. So if you go for fixed width, what will happen? So that means you are telling all your data is separated by a fixed width. Okay. So here, what you need to do? Fixed width you can select. Here come, click. So one arrow will come. Okay, next. Then click on this. So one arrow will come. Okay. Just drag this arrow and place where you want to divide your columns. So I will place it here. Then another one, click this column. I will come. I will say okay, fine. Then this one will come. Then salary this much. Now you can see ID this much, name, salary, address, everything is fine. Data. So click on next. Finish. Now you can see ID is this one, name is this one, salary is this one, address is this one. It is fine, proper? Yes. But if you do not, if you go a little bit, let's say initially, and here let's say after 2000 you won't give space, then what will happen? You will have issues. What issues? Let's see. Delimiter fixed width, next, back. I will click here. ID I will choose, okay, this is fine. But whenever I will choose name, okay, this is also fine. Whenever you will choose salary, like, okay, this one, now what will happen? Your column header will be different. This is containing. So your data will be improper. So you should also know first your data should follow a definite structure. It's not like, okay, first row something, second row some different behavior. No, everything should follow at least one behavior. There should be some delimiter between your column values, or there should be exact width of data. That's it. Okay, if you do not have like that, then nothing will work. Okay, so that is the difference between your fixed width and delimiter. Then you have here something called data validation. Okay, here something is there, data validation. Sorry. This is your data validation, okay, and these two options, whatever you are saying, this is your removing duplicates. Okay, let's say you have duplicates, you want to remove, so you can say, okay, what are the duplicate values? You can choose that particular column, then you can say okay. So you can see 214 duplicate values found. That means 214 whole row is duplicate, so they have removed. So this option is just to remove duplicates. Okay, this is your what? This is your kind of flash fill. So flash fill already we have done, like you can do 1, 2, then you can just bring this value, it will be like 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, this kind of thing. So this is kind of flash fill. So you can increase your number. Let's say this is the number 10, this is the number 20. So you want to give numbers like 10, 20, 30, 40 like that. So how you will get it? So 10, 20 you can write once, then select both, then drag it. Then after that, it will give what? Every number will be generated with gap of these two. It will calculate. Okay. So this is kind of shortcut. These are the flash fills. Okay. Then remove duplicates. If you want to remove only in a particular column, then you can go for that selection, or else if you want to go for everything else, like combination of that, you can go for continue with current selection. Continue with current selection is only for this one. Expand the selection means it will check for the whole record. Okay, you can go for delete duplicates. Then you have data validation. Data validation means what exactly? It will validate your data. So if you remember, so you will be having some kind of, let's say you are applying for some job. So there will be some fields mandatory, your name, your address, maybe phone number, email ID. So if you do not write, it will give you error. Hey, there is error. So data validation actually, that is your data validation. Okay, so we'll see how it works. So let's say I'll go here. Okay, so data validation again you can do in two ways. Before entering your data you can do, or once you have data also, on that also you can do it. Okay, so let's say I will go for this item amount. I will select this. I will say data validation. Okay, I will click on this. Now what exactly you want? I want to allow what? Any value. Okay, no, I want to allow only whole numbers. Let's say what is the number? Data between. Okay, what should be? So you can give like any operation, like it should not be equal to, less than, between, or it is in range, greater than, less than, all this. So I will give like, okay, it should be between what? Minimum value is let's say 800, maximum value will be 1000. So now my value should between in this range. If the range is different, if the data is less than 800, greater than 1000, then that is improper data. Okay, so I'll give this value. then ignore blank is there. So if you want to have blank as also error, you can uncheck that. Okay. So let's say ignore blank. Then you have input message. So here what exactly you will do? You will input your message. What exactly message you want. Let's say I will give this one as item validation or something. And what is the input message? Please enter valid values. Then you have error alert. So in this error alert, you have few options. Stop. Stop means it will give you error and it won't allow to enter that value. It is like error. Okay. You have warning. Warning means it will give you warning symbol, but your data will be inserted. Data will be inserted, but it will give warning. Information. Data will be inserted as an information. Okay. So that means what exactly? What is our actually rule? 800 to 1000. So if I will enter, let's say I will go for error. Stop. That means if I will enter 700, it will throw error. Hey, 700 is not valid value. You cannot enter. So if I will try entering any value out of like 8 to 1000 out of this range, it will give me error. It won't allow to enter the value. But if I will go for this symbol warning, the value will be inserted, but warning symbol will come. If I will go for information, again value will be inserted, but it will give you information. So you can choose whatever you want. Let's say you don't want to insert, then you will go for error. But let's say your client will say, okay, do one thing, insert the values, but give one particular exclamation, or you can say warning or information, you can go for whichever. But in this case, let's say I will go for error. I don't want to insert that also. So I will give what? Try to insert, or error message will be invalid values or something. Invalid number. Or number is not in between 800 or 1000. You can give that whatever you want. I will say okay. So now you see, if I will go here, you will get the input message. So I will click here, you will get that input message. Item validation. Please enter a value, this one or this one. You can give that. So that is your what? Input message. Okay. So now you will be surprised, hey, how come these values are there? Because already it is entered. After that only we are creating data validation. Okay, so I will select this. I want to see the invalid data. So here you have circle invalid data. I will click on this. So now you see these are the invalid data as per your calculation. Okay. Then if you want to remove the circles, clear validation circles. Simple. Okay. So this is the validation you have created after inserting data. Let's see. Here there is no data. I will go and create validation here. I will say okay. I will say this one as, let's say okay, any kind of number, let's say number, let's say okay. I will go here, create one validation. So I will say data validation, what it will exist. Let's say I want to insert what? I want to insert something like full number. That number equals to only 10. Only 10 values can be inserted. All values, nothing it will be. So in input values, let's say I will say, please enter a value. So input message will be, you can have only 10 as a number here. This is your message. So whenever you will mouse over, you will get this message. Okay. Error message is, I will say stop. What is the error message? You have not entered 10. So our rule is only you have to enter 10. So you have not entered 10. So done. So now if you will mouse over, click here. What is this? Is your message, input message. Please enter a value. You can only have what 10 as number. You can only enter 10. Let's say I will enter 10. Enter. Now it is entering. If I will go and enter 12, it is giving what? You have entered. You have not entered 10. So this is like what? Error. So if I will retry also, it will ask, okay, please enter again. If I will get again some number different, again it will error. So this is like error thing. So you don't allow. Okay. So like that you can create data validations. Whenever you will create something like, okay, you have to enter your name, you have to enter your email ID, you have to enter this one, let's say Aadhaar number. So Aadhaar number, let's say you want to enter here. What you will do? You will go for data validation. Here you have something called length, text length. Text length should be equals to what? 12. So only 12 digits should be entered. Rest all it won't allow. So in that way you can restrict also. So this is called what? Data validation. Okay. Then these two you can ignore. These are your again relationship and something Visio. Okay, Visio in the sense this is for your data models. Okay, so this is not required for Excel. How to remove? So you have allowed data validation. Click on that. Then you can go here. Whatever data validation you have applied, you just delete that. Okay, simple. So you just change that. No, I don't want any kind of data validation. So what happens generally once you apply data validation? Okay, so you want to clear that. Let's say I want to. Okay, I have. Okay, here you have applied data validation. Okay, now you don't want this data validation should be here. So simply go here in data validation. Whatever data validation you have applied, just remove that. I don't want anything. Remove everything. Okay, so I don't want anything, so it's like simple. Okay, so it will ignore. Okay,
But other number like 12 characters when you give like that, so that thing is repeated again often.
repeated means
The same number is repeated.
same number can be repeated, no?
No, other
Because
number be,
okay, so you want everything should be 12 digit and unique. In that case, you have to create. Let's say I will go here. I'll say data validation. Okay, so here it is like whole number. Okay, so you will go for let's say text length equal to 12. Created. Here you will say okay, it is already created before. So now let's say what happened? The mouse is not working. Okay. Our number lock is off. Very good, very good. Okay, so here let's say give error because it is now not 12 digits. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. So it is 12, so it will allow. Right? Okay, so you want, okay. So this number should not be repeated. Again, it is coming by exponent because last number, that's why exponent. You have to go and change the data type. Okay. Then, after that, where it is. So you have applied again. What happens here? So this particular customization rule again it won't allow here to create another one. Okay, let's say you will go for any value, but should not be equal. Here you cannot go for multiple things. That is a drawback again. So in that case, let's say you want unique values also. Only one option is left. What you can do, you can create this data validation. After that, you have to write one either VBA or else you have to do multiple like macros. You can create like deleting duplicates. That is the only option left. Okay, you have to create one macro which will delete this particular whatever duplicates. So first it will create all this data validation and it will enter values, but it will later it will do another one step of deleting the duplicates. Okay, that is one, or else you have to write macro, like what is that, VBA for that. So here in data validation, you don't allow you multiple data validation on a single column. So that is the one drawback here again. Okay, so you have to go for this VBA only. That is the only option left, or else you can create macros. So fast user will insert the values, then you create a macros just to delete all the duplicates. That's it. Okay. Then you have, okay, So under this, then you have here something called grouping. Okay, grouping is nothing but we have created this pivot table, grouping, ungrouping, and doing some kind of subtotals. So these are the options. So here, if your data is proper, there is no duplicates. Okay, so this is just like your same thing. Here you have charts and pivot chart, same option. So if your data is proper and there is no kind of detailed rows repeated, then you can go directly select whatever data and you will say group, then find out the subtotal, it will come. So, but I will recommend don't use this grouping, ungrouping, subtotal, always go for pivot table, that is best, because there it is proper and also it won't be any kind of error will be there. Here maybe if your data is not proper or clean, it may give you some different kind of errors. Okay, so don't go for this one, always go for pivot table, pivot chart. Don't go for simple charts or any kind of grouping here. Okay, it will create issues sometimes. Okay, then here something called forecast or what if analysis. Again, these things are just for your predictions. Okay, these are again for prediction, but in this forecast sheet, what happens? Okay, so whether we have data for that or not, let's say. Sorry, related. Let's say salary one. All these points, actually, these things are of no use because you cannot predict. So, if you forecast sheet also, you will click on this and you will. Okay, so I don't think this data is proper. Uh, Let me check whether I have some data. Data set. No. Timeline is not evenly spaced. The dates and numbers in the timeline must have a considered gap between considered one. Obviously, it is based on the norm. Should come actually. To use historical data to create a visual forecast worksheet. Okay, forecast can be created because timeline is not evenly spaced. The dates or numbers in valid timeline must have a consecutive gap. Obviously, it is a 1 month gap. Use days that are always 7 days apart or a numerical timeline of consecutive indices. What are the options you have? Why it is not coming? Let me try a different way. Okay, so now you can see here in this particular forecast. Okay, so you have some countries, let's say order date, that this is their sales. So as of this particular date, this graph is created till this point, this blue color. After this blue color, you have forecast. What is the forecast? It can go up, it can go middle, it can go down. Obviously, out of this three only, you will get one. Then what is the point here? So that's why in this particular forecast, you have options here also. Like you can start like forecast starts from which particular date you can give. Then after that, confidence interval, like okay, this is your 95% confidence that okay, this will work in this way. This is your 95%, middle one. Like that, there are some settings. Okay, but here, what exactly happens is this particular whatever forecast you are doing, it is doing based on three directions: upper, lower, and middle one. Obviously, out of that, something will happen. Then, what is the point of this forecast? Right? So, this particular Excel forecast is of no use at all, because right now, if you want to do forecast, there are so many artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms. They used to do predictions, which is closely again matches, but not accurate. Because anyway, you know that forecasting is something you are forecasting, but that cannot be 100% accurate. But it can be near, like it depends like whether it is 70%, 80% or 90% near to that. That's it. No one can predict exactly what will happen in future. So that's why. But in this Excel, it will give you three options. So you'll say, yeah, something will happen. So this is of no use. That's why you should not go for any kind of all these activities, not at all required. Okay. Then what if analysis? This is kind of okay. What if this will happen? Okay. So there is a document for that. So you can refer that. That is anyway you will get it very good there. So there will be something called what if analysis. Let me tell you that very quickly. Not this one. So these are the additional things you have. You can go for that. There is something called what if analysis. So look at all. This one, sorry. Okay, this is the what if analysis. So here this what if analysis again, what it does, what if this happens? Okay, so this is the kind of, you can say different scenarios will be there. Based on each scenario, you will be doing some kind of analysis. Okay, so again, this analysis again, this is kind of based on your whatever values you have, based on that value, you will do analysis. Okay, it is not future analysis. So here, for example, you can see if you go through this document, you will easily get it. So there is something, let's say, for example, you have a bookstore or you have a library. Okay, in that library, let's say you have 100 books. So I have taken this 100 because just for your calculation, because percentage, all these things are there. So it is just for your easy of doing calculation, or else you can take anything, nothing. Okay, nothing matters here. So let's say you have 100 books. Out of 100 books, we have divided books into two categories. One is highest price book, another is lowest price book. So you can say highest price, lowest price. So highest price books, they are like, let's say $50. Lowest price $20. Okay, so what you know, okay, I have 100 books. Out of that 100, I have $50 book and $20 book. Okay, fine. So now you will do analysis. What? Let's say out of this 100 books, what if my books are like 60% of my books are highest price selling books. So that means out of 100, 60 books will be $50. 40 books will be obviously 100 minus 60. 40 books will be $20. So what will be the sell? This much sales. Let's say someone will tell you, hey, do one thing. I want to achieve 80% of highest selling books. So how much I used to get? Please do the calculation. So you will say 80% will be highest selling. So 80 into $50. So automatically all these calculations will change and you will get the total amount here. So that this is your different kind of scenario you will build in. Okay. So what you need to do? Just create this particular thing. So which is again very easy. Okay. So what you need to do? Let's say here you will write, okay, this is your bookstore. Okay, you are going to do any kind of calculations. So let's say here you have total books. Okay, fine. This is your, let's say, highest rate or higher rate, whatever you can say, higher rate books or whatever. Okay, so just for your sake, I will just give some colors just for the headings. Okay, fine. So total books is, let's say, 200 or 200, whatever you can do. So this is your higher rate. Higher rate in the sense, this will be your like whatever number of books you will, percentage of books you will be selling in higher price. Okay. So now what you will do? Let's say you will give this one as input number. So let's say I will give 60. Okay. Fine. So this one you can go for percentage also if you want. Okay. So 60%. Fine. Then after that you have here higher rate. This is your lower rate. Two types of books you have, right? Click on this, bold it. Fine. Now this is your higher rate. So this is your 60%. So I will write formula, just whenever you will write anything here, it will automatically come. Then this one will be what? This will be, how you will calculate this? So again, here instead of 60%, let's say I will give you the total exact number of books. So how I will calculate? Let's say I will go for this one. So I will write what? 200. My bad. So 1 minute. This is 60%, no? So it is not coming as percentage, so it is taking as number. 1 minute, 1 minute. So let's say I want to go for percentage. I will go for numbers only. I'll go for general. Fine. This one equals to this into this percent. Why it is coming from? Oh, this one is the percentage and then so now this one will be what? This one minus this one. Then now what is the rate you have? Let's say here you have rate as, I'll give here, let's say rate. So rate is nothing but I will give, let's say this is your $40. Okay, you can give. Then this one is your, let's say $20. Fine. I'll give here dollar just for your sake. Fine. So now this one will be what? Equals to, obviously this one into this one, and this one equals to this one into this one. Fine. Then you have what here? Total. Total equals to this plus this. Fine. Done. So now, if you'll go here and you will change 80%, what will happen? You will get how much you will get. So these are the different scenarios you have. So how you will create that scenario? Because here it is like you have created one particular frame, or you can say formula kind of thing. Okay, you can go and enter whatever things. So as for that, all the calculations will be different. But you want scenarios, different scenarios. For that, what you need to do? Here you have scenario manager. Click on the scenario manager. Now you want to create different scenarios. So I will say add. Scenario name is, let's say I will go for 60%. I want to give like 60, 70, 80, 90. 4 different scenarios I want to create. What is the changing cell? Which will be your changing cell? Obviously this one. So I will click here. I will say this is the changing cell. Where this should be changing. Fine. Okay. Now, what is the value? Now here only one thing you have to remember, as this is percentage, you have to give point something. Okay, don't give directly 60 or something. So 60%, that means 0.6. Okay. Then add another one. Scenario name is 70%. What is your changing cell? Oh, yo, 1 minute, 1 minute. Changing cell, no? Changing cell will be this one, total, not this one. Changing cell will be this one. Okay. I'm little confused. 1 minute. Let me try. 70%, no? 70%. Changing cell is this much, let's say. Okay. Values would be 0.7. Okay. So now let's say go summary. Fine. So now you can see what happened here. So here you have created, this is you have created. So here under this you will create one scenario. Let's say I have created 60-70%. Like that also you will go and create, let's say 80% also. You want to create 3 different scenarios. So changing cell is this one, because this is the user input you will be changing. Then after that you will give here value 0.8, whatever percentage you want. Okay, fine. After that here you have options like delete, that means deleting whatever scenario you have created. Edit means if you want to edit that particular thing. Then you have something called merge, that means it will merge few conditions. Then you have summary. Summary in the sense, whatever scenarios you have created, it will create you summary. So if once you click on this summary, it will ask you, okay, what is the result cell? That means what is the output? Obviously this is the output. I will select this. Okay. So now you will get one summary sheet. It will tells you, okay, it will tell you what. If you will go for 60% of highest book, then you will get this much amount. You will go for 70%, you will get this much. You will go for 80%, this much. So these are the different scenarios, and what will be your output, it will just tell you that. Okay, nothing else. Okay, so this is kind of having different scenarios for your inputs. That's it. Okay, so that is called your what if analysis. Okay. There is another one thing also in here. You have something called goal seek. Goal seek means what exactly? Goal seek means what exactly you want to achieve as a goal. So sometimes let's say I don't know what combination I will prepare here, but I want to achieve this particular total amount as, let's say 8,000. I want to get profit as 8,000. I don't know what combination. Okay, what you will give? You will give set cell. This is the cell. What is the value you want? 8,000. By changing which cell? This one, obviously. Okay, now you see, to achieve 8,000, you have to sell all the books at highest price. Okay, so this is your goal seek. Let's say I will go and, I'll go here. Let's say I will say again, okay, set sell this one. I want to achieve how much? Let's say 6,000. I want to achieve, or 6,500. This is the amount I want to achieve. What is the sell? Obviously, I will change this. Now, in order to get 6,500, you want to sell 125 books at higher price, 75 at this one. So this is kind of getting your goal. Okay. So this is regarding your what if analysis. Okay. So this is all about your data tab. Here, this particular section is very important, getting data and doing some transformation. Then this particular text to columns, this is also pretty much time you will use. Then what if analysis just for your case, but I don't know, like you won't be using this what if analysis, forecast, all this nothing. And this grouping thing, try to avoid, just go for pivot table. There only it is better. Okay, so this is all about your all the things about Excel. Then here also there is something like there is a like in this Google Drive you will be having one particular video. Okay, so this will tell you how to create dashboards. Okay, so this is the data I have taken. Okay, again I have said this data also, this video also. Only one thing is audio is not there. So when I actually recorded this, I forgot to unmute, so this is no video is there, but if you will go for stepwise, okay, so I'll just increase the speed a little bit, 2x. So now you can see this is the data. So I am doing first of all a little bit of validation. Validation in the sense in the gender column there are actually 4 values: men, women, MF. So you know that M also, that is also male. So I am converting this M into men and W into women. So that we'll have only 2 gender. Okay. So I am doing some kind of data cleaning operation first. Then after that I will create few of the new columns. Like from here you can see age column is there. Okay, so from age columns I will create another one age group. That means if there is a certain age, I will create some age groups like adult, senior citizen, or you can say what is that? Teen. Okay, so all these 3 different age group I have created. So like that you can go for that. Then after that, once I will create this age group, then I will go and create one month or year column from this date. Okay, so these are the calculated columns I will create. Then after that, I will go and try to create what? Different pivot tables. After that, different pivot charts. So these are again simple. So if you watch, you will get it. So I will create at last 4 or 5 pivot charts. Then after that, I will just copy those pivot chart in one particular sheet, and you can add any kind of text box, any coloring. After that, you will get your what? Dashboard. But only thing you have to remember, you have to add what? Slices to your dashboards. So this is the dashboard now. So now you can go ahead and add what? Slices. So once you add slices, only one particular thing you have to remember. All the slices once you add, it may not change all the data in picture. Why? I told you also previously. What is the reason? If you have slicers, it is not
It's a
working.
user and filter, sir.
No, not filters. There is something whenever you have. Okay, so 1 minute. Let me put my charger first, or else call will end. 1 minute. Hang on there. That is the important part actually. So whenever you have any kind of dashboard, all the visuals won't be interacted with your slicer because of only one setting, that is you maybe forgot to enable the slicer for all the visuals. I told you edit interaction, if you remember.
Filter connections.
Filter connection, edit, oh sorry, edit reaction, it is in Power BI, sorry. Filter connections, okay. So you have to just go for that filter connection, enable, select that particular slicer, this one, you can see, report connections, or else you can go to there, you will get filter connection. So you will get all this, like you select one particular, what do you say, this slicer, then you have to check, okay, all the visuals are, all the charts are actually enabled or not. Okay, so in that case you will get it. So here it is showing. Okay, so you can go for multi select or single select of this particular thing. Okay. So you can see, like you can select on any kind of visuals, then you will get, okay, all the filter connections. Let me tell you that also, that dashboard will be somewhere. Let's say this is the thing, I guess. This is the thing. So now if you see, okay, you will go here, you will get report connections. So here you can see this particular slicer I have selected. So now previously what happened, it won't be selected, all these visuals. Okay, so it won't actually change this visual data. So you have to go and enable everything. whatever visual you want to interact with that particular slicer, you have to enable. That's it. It is not mandatory to enable everything. As per your client, you need to check. So let's say this particular month slicer. Okay, if I'll go and I'll say report connections, and here you can see it is enabled for all the things. But your client say, hey, do one thing. I just want to use this slicer just to reflect all this 4 data. This 2 I don't want. So just disable. That's it. Now, if you'll go and choose any data, this 2 particular data won't be changing. Done. Okay. So this is a main part. Okay. You have to go for this report connections. Okay. So this is regarding your dashboard. So just try to build that. Okay. So with that, this is all about your Excel. Okay. One more thing I need to tell you. So next weekend, okay. So legally, our class and our course is completed today. Okay. So next week, 19th and 20th, as you have told or asked, I will come. Okay. One day, I will give you different types of Excel questions. So you, if you want, you can practice here, or else if you want at home also, you can do that. So as of like, it depends on your choice. But I will be coming here. Okay. So you can do that. Then after that, another one day. So 19th we can do Excel. Okay. 20th, I don't know, like if you want, if you are interested or not. Again, someone has requested for SQL, so we'll go for SQL also. Okay. So 19th, I will give you some of the scenario questions regarding Excel. You can practice here. If you have any doubt, we can clarify. 20th, I will give you some of the scenario questions regarding SQL. So you can also practice here. If you want, you can also ask me again. Clear? So people will be coming 19th, 20th? Okay. So we'll change a little bit. We'll come at 10 o'clock. Okay. So it is a little bit different. Let me sleep for at least 2 days. Okay.